Hello.
Hi.
What's up?
Not much.
Okay. How the hell are we supposed to record a podcast, man?
I feel like I can hear you and I don't even have headphones on.
Alright. Welcome to another episode of Sio in Rome.
This is Sio.
And this is Rome. And this is episode number 58.
Yeah, it is.
Yo. What's going on, Sio?
Not much. I was going to start cursing right off the bat.
Are you okay?
I'm perfectly fine.
I don't know. Something seems a little off, bro.
I feel the same way.
Really?
Yeah, I feel like you're like funky right now.
My head is killing me.
Okay, is that it? 100%?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Hope that Tylenol kicks in.
Really?
Yeah.
We were just having a conversation before the show started
Mm-hmm.
about ladies
Oh, okay. No.
and the way we view each other.
Yeah.
So it's the way I was responding to that.
Not at all. Not even a little bit.
Yeah. So, I'm not feeling my best, but I'm going to push through. Everything's cool, though.
Okay.
I ain't got no issues going on.
Okay, I'm just making sure my friend's okay.
All right, cool, man. So, listen, before we jump into these topics, best podcast of 2018.
Undisputed.
Undisputed. If you want to dispute it, shoot us an email at conrome@gmail.com.
Nobody has the audacity to do it anyways, so.
I'm waiting on it. I mean, because if you're going to dispute it, you can't just say you're not the best podcast.
You have
of
to explain
2018.
why.
Yeah, like come charged up.
Okay.
Like,
Wait, time out though. I'm about to take this a whole nother left field type thing right now.
okay.
You really want someone to come charged up with the way that you've been feeling lately?
I'd rather someone come charged up than to just give me a 1 or 2 liner.
Okay, and you're not going to slap nobody's drink out their hand when that happens?
I might. I don't know.
Okay, good. Noted.
I think that if you listen to the show, then you wouldn't expect much different from me.
That's true.
I mean, so
That's true.
I
can
true to character.
Right. Maybe that's what's keeping people from coming forth and saying that we're not the best podcast of 2018.
So people may not be disputing this because they're scared I'm gonna slap the drink out of their hand.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I like that reputation.
Okay. I hate you. All right, it's fine. That's cool.
If you want to get yourself some merch, head on over to afgoclothing.com. You could go ahead and get yourself a discount.
Yep. Discount code is ZioandRome15. Gets you 15% off. Cop you something. Take a picture. Tag us in it. Let us show you some love.
Yeah. If you get something, let us know. All right, so we're going to jump into some topics here. First of all, this is some shit that just popped up on my timeline today. I already DM'd this shit to you, but Clorox has a fucking ad on Instagram, bro.
Yeah.
And while I understand that you can use bleach, Clorox bleach, to make contaminated water drinkable,
Right.
I don't think it's smart for Clorox to have a paid ad on an Instagram timeline showing you how to use Clorox to make your water drinkable.
Why?
Because I think that, one, it introduces the thought that, oh shit, I'm going to start using Clorox to make my water drinkable. And then if people do it wrong, I want to kind of understand the risks that are involved with this.
So you feel like they should be held liable in case something was to go wrong from the person disinfecting their water by using Clorox?
I'm not saying they should be held liable. I think that by making this ad, now you're, like I said, you're introducing a thought, and someone who never thought to do this before is now going to try it. Now, if they put too much Clorox in their shit, then where do we got to trail back and be like, oh, it all came from this fucking Clorox ad.
100%. I do feel, though, that it's smart in a sense, business-wise, because of the fact that how I stated to you when you first sent it to me, there are people who I know who grew up in Haiti, and they don't have clean drinking water. And the person that I know from Haiti told me that his mom would literally get water and take just like a capful of the Clorox and pour it in the gallon of water that they would have and mix it up, and that would make it drinkable for them.
And I think that that's great. I just think that I would rather my mom show me how to do this process
rather than a commercial,
rather than this DIY video. So
Got
like
it.
This is my perspective. Let me play this shit.
Okay.
All right. Disinfect drinking water. 1, start by checking the water for clarity and suspended material. Filter it out. Check the bottle label. Only use the EPA joint. Find a clean measuring spoon or a dropper and add half. This shit's going too fast. Okay, let the Clorox sit in the water, and then it says check and confirm that the water has a slight bleach smell before drinking it. Nigga, if I smell my water
and it smell like bleach,
I'm not drinking that shit, bro.
now what about in comparison to what it could be though?
Bro, the only way I'm drinking this water is if there's a zombie apocalypse and there is no fucking available other water sources available to me. I'm not resorting to this shit in any other circumstance. It would have to be the time of the revelations that nigga, I am not doing this.
Listen,
I would rather drink water straight out of the sink
me too.
than to take this step with Clorox.
I agree with you 100%.
So this ad, they're picking demographically who's going to see this shit.
Exactly.
And they're displaying it to someone like me who can simply just put straight tap water to cup. Now I'm like, oh, let me try this Clorox shit, dog. Let me make sure it has a slight bleach smell before I drink this shit.
Or it can be the start of the modern day purge. Maybe this is the way that they take urban cities out. Maybe this is the way that they're trying to influence us to take ourselves out with them having no type of say or do or anything like that.
Niggas start dying from Clorox water.
What can you say?
Do we hold Clorox responsible?
How are people going to really tie it back to them? Think about it.
Who saw the ad?
But how? Do you know how many people social media gets to, like, how can we exactly pinpoint that?
This is how we pinpoint it.
Okay.
CO dies 3 days from now after drinking Clorox water.
I think it probably takes longer than that.
Whatever.
Yes.
Then I'm going to be like, oh shit, she didn't start drinking Clorox water until she saw the Clorox ad.
Yeah.
I mean, overall, I just think that this ad is fucking stupid. CO, do you really think Clorox is going to get more sales?
No.
Because they showed us how to drink fucking Clorox water?
No, but I can see how it can be both beneficial and detrimental.
And Instagram had to approve this ad.
Of course.
So they should be held accountable too.
But it's kind of like the whole H&M thing. Remember when you spoke about how like they go through different platforms of approval? Mm-hmm. Sometimes it skips a beat and people are dumb.
Well, the dumbass people at Clorox, their process obviously failed.
Right.
And then Instagram said, hey, let us review this ad. And they were like, oh, yeah, let's go for it.
This sounds great.
Anyway, yo, if y'all going to do the Clorox water shit, be careful. If you've done it, I want to hear from you guys. Let me know.
Yo, I want my homeboy to comment on it because he's done this. He lived in Hades for a big part of his life.
Yeah, and if you do have to resort to doing this to make drinking water safe for you, I say go for it. But I just feel like there's a responsibility when you start to make ads,
share it with the world,
introduce the thought and idea, because some people aren't going to follow instructions.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Let's see, what else do we have here? You know, we've been posting more content on our pages lately, video content. And one of the videos that I posted was about vision training.
Yes.
I don't quite remember exactly what I said in that video because I just...
You were wearing a pillowcase.
Oh, around my head?
Yes.
That was the one? Okay. Listen, you know, I really want to implore you guys to kind of like look into this shit. If it's not a vision board, it could be a notebook where you write down your goals, things like that. I just want to say, like I said in the video, if you have big dreams, if you have big goals, writing your goals down really make a huge difference, even if it's just subconsciously in the way you move, the way you act, the way you believe. And if you don't believe certain things about yourself, you're not going to like really adapt or adopt the behaviors that are necessary to accomplish those goals.
I agree.
So
I think that we've talked about this numerous times, even from the very beginning. And
on the podcast?
Yeah, on the podcast. We've talked about vision boards and how it has worked for you. And we were like, let's start it. Let's do this, whatever. And for our listeners, I do want to say that after we had those types of conversations, Rome and I did actually go and start a vision board about things that we wanted to accomplish this year with the whole podcast business. Now, we completely forgot about it. Would you say that you forgot about it too? Like, it was there. We knew that it was there, but we didn't go back and check on it regularly.
Yeah, I think like the traditional like thing is that you're supposed to post these goals up in an area that you're going to see these things every day and it's going to keep you motivated.
We didn't do that.
But I've always personally done this whole vision training thing. I tend to write my things down and sometimes I tuck it away.
Right.
Because I'm like, once it's written down, it's like, okay, something clicks in me.
Yes.
Everyone's a little different.
Which I think that that's kind of the approach that we took with the vision board that we did. We kind of wrote down everything. We had a conversation about it. We discussed it, and then we tucked it away. We didn't really
maybe
go
revisit
back.
It should we feel the need to.
Correct. Well, we did pull that vision board out as of last week, 2 weeks ago. I don't know. My timeline's always
like
fucked up.
Week.
Okay. Last week. And I'd say there's probably about 10 to 12 things on there, and we've probably accomplished about 6 or 7 of those things already.
Yeah.
Without even going back and referencing it. So I think that's super dope. Subconsciously, these vision boards work way better than we can even ever imagine. Mm-hmm. That's super dope. I think that we need to do one every year.
I think that even if we have to like incrementally break it up, depending on how busy we get, you know, revisiting it, tweaking it can make things even better for us. But I think it's an exciting concept, something that I want for us to continue to practice. It's been really great. So, I mean, running a business or making big life changes requires a lot of focus, energy, and attention. I feel like that whole vision training situation, like it changes the whole dynamic of just talking about it and the being about it.
Yes, almost forcing yourself to walk that walk.
And it's easy. You know, vision boards can be a bit intimidating because people are like, oh, I got to get crafty. I got to go buy a poster board and glue sticks and magazines.
Or I feel like people may even think that by creating a vision board that they may put things down that feel like they're reaching too far. And it's almost like, no, like you don't even know what you're capable of. Put it down. If you feel like that's what you want to do, put it down and then take the steps to accomplish that.
If it's in your heart, let
do
it out.
Yes.
Yeah. And if you're not about the whole craft booky thing and all the supplies and shit, like get a wipe off board.
Which is what we did, right?
You know, keep it simple, but, you know, start just being better about your shit and your goals and all that.
All that.
Because we believe in you.
Yeah.
Just don't bring that drama this way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, don't get no... you've been on some other shit lately. I want to tell the listeners about what you've been on.
Go for it.
All right. So Rome has been on some like weird, crazy shit lately. And I'm going to speak freely. Don't look at me like that.
No,
there's video.
I love this.
Okay. So I used to be what I thought was the more aggressive one.
What?
Yes.
You really did think you were the more aggressive one? I had no idea that you thought that.
Rome.
I always thought I was the more aggressive one.
When we lived, however long we've lived in Florida, how many fights have you gotten into?
I got in one good one.
How many fights have I gotten into?
I don't know. I wasn't present.
A lot.
But the fight that I had and you were present for
was crazy.
It was a really good beatdown.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I'm not taking that away from you. However, I'm saying if you want to compare numbers, I would automatically assume by those numbers that I was more of the aggressive one.
I guess that's fair.
Yeah, just number wise. Just be like, okay, your one crazy fight in comparison to my 6 fights was probably like, I'm more aggressive. That's how I see it.
Okay.
All right.
Personality wise, I feel like I've always been more aggressive though.
For sure.
Okay.
For sure. But like when shit pops off, I'm like, I lose it. Like it's not even Zio anymore.
I don't think I've ever seen you in a fight.
I know.
And maybe that's why I've never viewed you that way.
Exactly.
Okay.
So, boom. I think that in my head, that's how I always viewed it. And like, I don't know, like the last... All right, I'm going to speak freely. Fuck it. I've had a couple glasses of wine.
Go.
You know, ever since you've been with Jonathan and you've been in this whole relationship thing, I think that you've been a little subdued. Like you're more calm. There's not much abrasiveness when it comes to you. it's been like chill Rome. So I got used to that for the last 3-4 years. I don't know what the fuck has happened that lately I literally am like looking at the corner out of the corner of my eye towards you when I see some shit popping off, and I'm like, okay, my friend's about to go crazy. I'm just gonna leave it alone. We're gonna talk about this on Sunday. So we went out. If you guys follow us on our Instagram page, we went out on Friday night because I was feeling rebellious. As I stated on my video, I was stating how I wanted to shake my ass. I go through these moments, and so we did. However, if you also follow me on Twitter, you peeped that I posted a tweet that said, sometimes you guys have to practice how you come at a shorty, because you coming up to speak to me does not have to incorporate you putting your hands anywhere on me.
You tweeted that?
I did.
Damn, I missed it.
So you coming to speak to me does not have to do anything with you placing your hands anywhere on my body. Well, that wasn't the case Friday night. Friday night, a guy decided to feel free and not only trying to approach and speak to me, but place his hands on places that were uncomfortable. Not necessarily saying they were inappropriate, but as a female, sometimes you don't even realize what's inappropriate, feels uncomfortable until you're in that scenario.
I think that, like, if you put your hand on my shoulder or
that's different,
gentle, playful touches, like, those are okay. I feel like,
yeah,
as the conversation flows, we both kind of know what's taking it too far.
Correct.
But trying to run your fingers through my hair, putting your hand on the small of my back or around my waist, or
dropping your hand lower and lower at, like, listen, okay,
on my butt. Like,
exactly.
Don't do that.
Let's be 100. You and I have big butts, so you putting your hand on the small of my back is automatically on the top of my butt.
Basically.
Let's be 100.
Yeah.
Okay. So the fact that you put your hand on the small of my back, which is technically my upper butt area, and you're slowly dropping it lower and lower, it gets uncomfortable. Like, at this point, I'm not even listening to what you're saying. Mm-hmm. So I remember looking back towards my friend, and for some reason, she wasn't making eye contact with me. Yeah. So I turn around, and there's another shorty, like, literally that I had just finished talking to across the way from me. So the only thing I can think of was reach out to her. So I'm, like, still nodding at the guy, trying to get him to, like, be like, and I reach over to the girl, and I'm, like, signaling her to come over to me, and she's like, boom, I know that sign. So she runs over to me, she crosses in front of me, and she pulls me out. Apparently, my friend was mad about this situation. We talked about it the next day. She was like, I'm supposed to be the hero.
I'm the hero, bro. And listen, I was already on it. The reason why you probably didn't see me making eye contact with you is because before I pounce, I always look around to see where the fuck is security. Because I'm about to let this nigga know. I already played the whole scenario in my head.
Well, listen, this is why I'm talking about how you're so aggressive these days, because it went from me seeing that you weren't making eye contact with me to having to reach out to someone else, to all of a sudden the night continued as scheduled. We're on the dance floor, I'm shaking my ass, whatever. Somehow this guy comes out the woodworks again and sees us on the dance floor, and he approaches me, and Rome automatically, no questions asked, she's like, no, keep it moving, bruh. And he's like, what? And she's like, keep it moving, get out of here, walk away. And he's like, you mad? You really mad? And they're just going at it for a few minutes, to the point where, like, I'm standing in between them trying to make it to stop. But once the guy started talking back to Rome, I was like, oh, so you want to fight? Okay. So I backed up, and I was like, I'm gonna let my friend have it, like, have her way with you. Yo, Rome went from telling him to walk away to saying, hey, you like that drink in your hand? Because I'm about to slap the shit out of it. I was like, oh my God, why are you so angry?
Okay, so there's a big piece of this that's missing.
Okay, you fill that in then.
So when homie was, like, touching you in a way that I was like, whoa, this is going too far. Right. I was going to just intercept the whole situation and be like, yo, back the fuck up. Mm-hmm. Didn't get to really cut in the way I wanted to. So when homegirl pulled you away from dude and you and her started engaging,
yes,
he went to walk off, and I was like, yo,
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and then he turned. I was like, yo, you need to chill. And he was like, my name is something that sounded like chill. He was like, how do you know my name? I'm like, I don't know your fucking name. What I'm saying is that you need to fucking chill. I was like, you see that? I was like, you see my girl? I was like, you need to fucking fall back. And he kept it pushing. So I had a one-on-one conversation.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was trying to tell you that night. I already had a one-on-one conversation where I told him that he needed to fall back. That's why when we went on with our night and he kind of like came back through.
You felt some type of way.
And he was trying to press up on you again. It's like, nigga, didn't I just fucking tell you? Like, to leave my peoples alone.
Yeah.
And that's why I was so turned. Because if I have a one-on-one and I give you a warning and you completely just fucking disregard what the fuck I just told you, then yeah, we have a fucking problem. Mm-hmm. And when he just, obviously he was super drunk and he wasn't comprehending that I'm telling him to back the fuck up. He wanted to keep arguing with me. That's when I'm like, yo, if you like that drink, you need to fucking chill because I'm about to smack that shit out of your fucking
Do you
hand.
want to know how crazy like my mind is too though? Because at first when you said that, I was like, oh my gosh, she's gonna slap his drink out of his hand. And from someone who has slapped a couple drinks out of people's hands, I know what that entails. But also, this is how crazy I am. I literally, when you said that, I looked at his cup and I saw that there was only a little bit left.
He was like, I don't care. It's
So
just
in
ice.
my mind, I was like, oh, it doesn't make that big of a difference. Like, just slap his cup. It's only a little bit left.
Here's the thing. When you go to slap a cup out of someone's hand, it should be a slap punch combo.
Okay.
You always got to be 2 steps ahead.
Okay.
Because you do the slap, then he's going to have a reaction, and then boop. It's always a slap, the drink, then the punch.
Listen,
Is that not your slap style, bro?
No. I get it, and I agree with you, but I'm also aware that that is a man, right?
Yeah.
So regardless of slap punch combo, if he was to come back and deck you, like, it would be a bad situation because now I'm jumping on his back. That's how I think 2 steps ahead. Now I'm jumping on his back and I'm like punching him in the head while you're like trying to get up from the floor. Now other niggas that are like about that life and see that 2 girls are being hit are like jumping on the nigga. Like, that's how I think.
Yeah, and I'm all like, everybody needs to fucking relax and let me fight this guy.
No.
The bottom line is this. It's all a fake scenario.
Yeah, it's a fake scenario.
Because at the end of the day, I had to be adult enough to be like, oh, this motherfucker's so drunk. He's going to keep pissing me off. I need to walk away. And that's exactly what I did. And
Not really. Technically, he walked away. We stayed in the same spot.
no, we walked away, bro. We walked away.
But we were still on the dance floor.
No, he was still standing where he was talking shit, and we walked off to like the opposite side of the dance circle. That's
wow.
how that conversation ended.
I thought he walked away.
No, we walked away because I turned around and he was still where he was at talking shit to his peoples. We walked
Oh,
away.
he had peoples with him.
Yeah.
Yo.
But the point I'm making is that the whole drink smack, don't take what I'm saying like a Clorox ad and start doing it. What I'm saying is that that's how much energy I have compacted inside of me when I get mad. And if you catch me on the wrong day, I may just act on it. In this particular case, I decided to be a mature adult and be like, this man's drunk. Obviously, you guys aren't going to see eye to eye. Walk away before you do something that's going to fuck up your life. And that's exactly what I did. And that's a sign of maturity.
Exactly. We have way too many dreams that we're trying to fulfill in order, like, for you to be in prison, for us to not have this whole thing work out to our benefit.
While on the topic of us having that outing, we went to Applebee's before going out to that. And CEO I'm realizing that you're really friendly.
Whoa, pause.
You're really friendly. Like, if people start having a social conversation with you, you will let it go and go and go.
Oh, I'm a social butterfly for sure.
Yeah, so you're talking to this lady who thinks she's like the female version of Scarface.
My nigga. So let me tell you what I was thinking when she was talking to us. And I wanted to say it out loud, but I was like, I'm not going to go there because it may be offensive.
This lady's about to be 62, 63.
She's talking to us about her life and how somebody in her past used to beat her and all these things. The only
you're talking
thing...
about the other lady. I'm talking about the lady that says she moved from Cuba.
Oh, I'm not talking about Shorty. I'm talking about the blonde chick.
No. Oh, blonde chick.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of people talking to us at Applebee's.
For
We
no
made, like,
reason.
6 different friends.
Well, the first impression I got from blonde chick, every time she spoke, I was like, this is Mob Wives.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I was like, this is Mob Wives for sure.
That lady was in her 50s. Her makeup was like for her age and everything like was on point.
But she was still trying to be hip to the game.
Yeah. Yeah, I like
Mob Wives.
So there was another lady that's, she's a stud. She's 62, 63. She looks like she had some drinks before she showed up at Applebee's.
Correct.
Every time I go to Applebee's, she's there acting like
Every
she
time.
runs fucking Applebee's. She's the pod boss of the bar.
Oh my God.
At Applebee's.
You're
She's
so
the pod
good.
boss. And she's telling us a story about how she moved from Cuba when she was 1 year old back in the 50s.
Yes.
Something along those lines. And that opened up Seal telling a story about when she moved to the mainland from Puerto Rico.
Yes.
And I don't think you ever told that story
I have
on
not.
the podcast. Dude, you have to share this because
Okay.
it's so fucking hilarious.
So when I was 5 or 6 years old, I moved again. I was born on the island of Puerto Rico. So I moved from Puerto Rico to New York when I was 5 or 6. And on the plane ride to New York, the movie that was playing was Coming to America with Eddie Murphy.
Now, is this your first time seeing the movie?
This is my first time seeing the movie. This is my first time really having heard anything that is only English because I didn't know English. Spanish is my first language, so I had to learn English.
Okay.
So I'm literally watching this movie on the plane, really oblivious to what they're saying. I just am picking up on certain things here and there. As an intellectual, you can kind of repetitively hear what people are saying and by context kind of behavior pick up on things.
Yeah, piece it together.
Piece it together.
Yeah.
And there's a scene for you guys who have or have not seen the movie. There's a scene where he continuously hears people saying, fuck you in the movie.
Yeah, because what happens is Eddie Murphy's character, the king of Prince of Zamunda,
Right.
shows up to Queens,
Yes.
New York.
Right.
He thinks is a place of royalty, and he's like, "I'm here.
I'm here." Yeah.
And like the neighbors are peeping their head out, like
He's being
"Fuck
loud,
you."
like, fuck you, shut the fuck up. Right. Exactly. So that interaction was so, like, to me, it was like a pivotal moment in my brain. I was just like, oh, maybe this is how my 5 or 6 year old self is thinking. Oh, maybe this is how people greet each other.
because Eddie Murphy responded them saying,
Yes.
"Fuck you," and he was like, "Fuck."
Fuck you too. Yeah. So he was probably thinking that it was like either a greeting or a term of endearment, that something in a positive nature.
Yeah.
So I watched this movie on the plane. The plane lands. My mom gathers all of our things, and we start walking off of the plane. And as we're walking off the plane, I'm seeing every building, everything that I saw in this movie. So my 5, 6 year old natural reaction as I'm walking off the plane is, yes, fuck you too. My mom, being someone who's born in New York City, grabs my hand and she does the whole like pull thing where your mom's like, shut the fuck up. And I'm just like, fuck you too. Fuck you. I'm just saying fuck you too to everyone that's like coming, and people are like stopping, looking at me crazy. My mom's like, what the hell? Yo, it's so crazy because finally, when I learned English and everything started to make sense to me, when I remember saying that, getting off the plane, I was like, oh my God.
So you had a flashback and was like,
Yes.
"Wow!" Now I realize how
Stupid. Bless you.
Excuse me.
Stupid and crazy I sounded. Okay. God bless you.
Sorry, guys. Yeah.
Yeah, I told everybody when I got off on JFK to fuck themselves.
Yeah, I think that that's great.
That goes to say how gully I am from the very beginning.
Yeah, I think that that's such a great story. I mean, you literally, Puerto Rico is part of the United States, but that is a true coming to America moment. And it sounds
How
like something so
apropos.
scripted, bro.
I swear it's not. Ask my mama. She will tell you. She's like, you told everybody in New York City to go fuck themselves.
Oh, wow. So listen, I only have one current event thing that I kind of want to touch on.
Okay. I think I have one as well, actually.
And it's about Kanye and everyone being so upset about him meeting with Donald Trump. I'm going to keep this very brief.
Okay.
And just say this. You know, a lot of us have political opinions, but we haven't dedicated our life and time on really educating ourselves on the way that politics work. Mm-hmm. That said, I think it's fair for me to acknowledge that Trump has done a lot of things to make it very clear that he's a fucking douchebag, regardless of how knowledgeable you are about politics.
Correct.
Okay. So even if you don't know enough about politics, you can take the certain things that Trump has said and done and be like, I don't fuck with that nigga. Right. So when you see someone like Kanye who loves Trump and in your head, you're like, I fucking hate Trump, that can cause some upset and everybody's got something to say about it. A lot of people have something to say about it. And what I want to say is this. Just live your fucking life. You know, there may be a lot going on behind the scenes that you don't know about. You know, there has been information dropped about certain agendas that Kanye has approached Trump with, and they may be doing some actual good together. I'm neither here nor there with it, but I think that the energy that we dedicate being angry and critical of others, like if we applied that to our own lives and just focused on being better people, creating better systems for our future, becoming more politically aware to avoid getting someone so fucked up, getting elected in office, like we have to look for ways to better allocate our time and our energy. So everybody, I just want people to be a little more at peace for taking a situation for what it is. It's cool to feel what you feel, but some of y'all are big mad, like big mad.
And although I agree with you, I feel like, yeah, we should spend our energy probably focusing on ways that we can better the situation rather than what's happening. But I can understand completely why people are so offended. Like, he's taking a lot of the natural feelings that people are having and making it seem like, oh, it's not that big of a deal.
Right.
I don't agree to that. Mm-hmm. I feel like just because you are of wealth and you have a better situation going for yourself at this moment. I mean, let's think about when the hurricane was happening and he was on the news with Michael Myers and he was like, Bush doesn't like black people. Why is it now that your situation and your comments are completely different?
Right.
Because of your situation being different?
Now, here's a meme, and I don't know how accurate it is, but I'm interested in knowing your thoughts, being that you brought that up. So basically what they're saying is that, you know, with Kanye's conversations with Trump, you know, he's talking about we need to build more factories so we can have jobs, talking about prison reform, talking about the black man needed more land and not so much the brands, which is kind of contradictory because he's like the biggest brand whore.
Right.
We need more legal guns in the community. Talking about Larry Hoover, someone who was wrongly convicted because of his power and influence. He also decided to bring up the 13th Amendment, which is the amendment that created legal slavery. All those things, like if behind the scenes Kanye is indeed talking about these things that definitely are advantageous to people of color, does that shift the conversation?
No.
How not?
How not? Because just because you're choosing to have a conversation behind closed doors doesn't mean that you can flip that and make it completely different to the people that are in the public. I feel like you should be able to speak the same things in public that you're speaking behind closed doors.
I agree. Depending on your response. Mm-hmm. So this is my thing. If these are the things that Kanye's definitely having conversations with Trump about, even though that's not what's being portrayed in the media.
Right.
Can you gel with this, or is it still disruptive to you?
I would have to see what the effects are in the long run.
Okay.
For me to make a sound judgment call.
I feel like my issue is the portrayal. If you guys are saying that, stop calling Kanye a coon because he's really doing A, B, C, and X, Y, Z, then my question is, why isn't he portraying A, B, C, and X, Y, Z in the media? All I'm saying is I fucking love this guy and make America great again and all these different things. For me, transparency is key. And with the power of social media, it's super important. to be very clear about the things that are being discussed and the things that are happening. Because let's be 100. When Kim went to meet with Trump, it didn't take no time for it to be very clear as to what she was talking to him about when she went to talk to him. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So I think that that's what causes a lot of gray area, and I'm not really clear on it. And this just in, last night, Kanye went on a Periscope.
I seen that.
And he went on to talk about like mind control, propaganda, all these things, how Sony won't sell him his publishing, this, that, and the third. And while he brought up a lot of valid points and feelings in that rant on Periscope, I'm not a professional, but I am still genuinely concerned about his mental and emotional state. He does not come off as a person who is mentally and emotionally sound right now.
Okay, and how about we take into consideration the fact that you have a whole machine behind you. You have people surrounding you at all times, including your wife, who is of well-known stature. You don't think that someone can be like, stop?
Well, that's the thing.
Let's pull back.
That's the thing. I think this Periscope was the first time that he's kind of reintroduced himself in social media after people have told him he needs to stop. So maybe he was just like, man, fuck everybody today. I'm pissed because I finally came up with the $7-8 million that Sony wanted. They still won't sell me my shit. Fuck everybody. I'm going back to doing whatever the fuck I want to do. So ultimately, it's like, can you really control this guy?
No. Ultimately, there's probably so much more that we don't even know is happening.
I think he should have the right to do what he wants at all times. My point is that if he is showing us that he's not mentally stable, that he is not mentally sound, then we should take that into consideration when we're seeing crazy shit unfolding before our very eyes.
100%.
So again, it all comes back to self. Am I going to let Kanye meeting with Trump get my feathers all
not to the point that it's
like
allowing other people
like,
to. No.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Kanye seems a little mentally unsound. Trump's a fucking psycho. Maybe they see eye to eye because they're both kind of crazy. You know what I mean? Like, I don't got time to sit around and get angry over these motherfuckers.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I agree to that. They're probably both crazy and they're seeing eye to eye in comparison to what we're looking at. And we're like, what the fuck is wrong with these assholes?
Or maybe we're the dumb ones.
Maybe we are the dumb ones. I actually only have 2 things of social media.
Okay.
Not social media, just media in general.
Okay.
One of them being, we spoke about this probably towards the beginning of our podcast, and it actually has a term now. It is called sneating. And sneating is when females use meeting up with guys or going out for initial dates for getting free meals.
It's called sneating?
It's called sneating, which is like sneaky eating.
Dude, you are so my friend because I got a topic that's going to piggyback right off of this, bro.
Bro, so they were talking about it on the radio, how like girls are being held, like it's being held against them for sneating, and I'm like, the fuck is sneating?
So I'm just going out with
yeah, like I'm just telling you that I will like to meet up with you and get to know you just for the free meal. And it's being like such a big thing where like guys nowadays are saying that they're not even wanting to take girls out on meals for their first dates. Like they're like, we'll go on a coffee date or let's meet up at a museum, which, hey, that's right up my alley anyways. But I'm just saying, like, guys are starting to catch on to this sneating trend and taking a completely different approach when it comes to females. Mm-hmm. Do you feel like this needs to stop, or do you feel like it's probably more seen now because of social media and all of the things that we have, and it's just been happening for forever? Because let's be 100, every time a guy usually asks you out, he's like, can I take you to dinner? Can I get you a bite to eat? So do you feel like it's just more focused now and that's why it's a thing?
Yeah, it's like more highlighted.
Right.
Here, the way that I look at it is like it's an investment.
Okay.
When you take a woman out on a date, you see a woman that catches your eye, you may want to take her on a date either A, because you feel like there's relationship potential and you're interested,
right,
or because you want to get the buns, right? And you don't really know. Or both. And you really don't know what's going to happen on the other side of that. The same thing happens with investments, whether it's stock, currency, business.
Right.
You know, you don't know how it's going to play out, but it's like the moment that you make the decision that you want to pursue someone or pursue something, like you got to put something into it. Now, managing how much you put into it is totally up to you. I do feel it's smart to do the coffee date because it's like, here's the thing. If you're really trying to get to know me because of you're a man that's like you know, I'm in a stage in my life that I wouldn't mind having a lady in my life.
Yeah, sex isn't the only thing that I'm concerned about.
Yeah, like if she gives up the buns, I'll take
That's
them.
cool.
You know what I mean? But I really want to see if this girl's got a good head on her shoulders. Can she hold conversation, this and that?
Right.
I want to make sure she's not going to sneed me.
Word.
So maybe I'll start off with the coffee date. And if as a result of the coffee date, I'm still digging shorty, then I do think you should step it up and you should start taking me to dinner and doing all those things because I haven't given you any indication on the coffee date that I'm in it just for the cup of coffee.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So I think the coffee date should be the buffer, but once you get a chance to fill me out, I do expect for you to court me and do all those things that
I'm all about a good courting.
yeah, I think you should. The courting shouldn't stop because sneeding now is late. There's a label and it's been identified.
Correct.
So I do think that's smart. Now, if you're like, I just want to take you on a coffee date and now you give me the buns, no, you're not going to get the buns off giving me just coffee unless I find you like sexually attractive and I'm trying to get that dick. You know what I'm saying? In fact, if I'm trying to get that dick, my nigga, you may not even have to buy me coffee. I might buy you coffee. Like, let's keep it a buck. If it's gonna be just about sex, you don't even have to buy me steak.
See this video.
You don't have to, like, you get what I'm saying?
Yo, I get it.
So it's like, don't play yourself. Like, a lot of you motherfuckers try to play yourself and want to come off like the good guy just to get some fucking pussy.
At the end of the day,
You're
let's
a fucking bum for thinking that way. Yo, I got a homegirl right now has a dude that's been like trying to make it seem like, oh, we got a future and this and that. When at the end of the day, like, shit's unfolding and it's like, yo, did you create this whole fantasy just to get in the pants? Because my nigga, you don't have to, especially women of a particular age, you ain't got a front to get the pussy.
Word
nigga.
up. Let's be
You
100.
don't.
I want to be very clear right now. For you guys out there that think that it's still some type of way. When females know that they're trying to get the dick as much as you're trying to get the pussy, bruh, it's nothing. They're not going to sugarcoat things. They're not going to be like, yeah, take me out. Business is business.
And if the dick is good, if the sex is good, like, nigga, just come over with a 6-pack of Smirnoff or whatever.
Bring some condoms.
Bring a glass of wine.
Like, that's all it
Or
takes.
come on to Netflix just to get this kind of started.
Let's pretend that we're watching something. Like,
it's not that deep.
it really isn't. Females are just about that life as much as guys are, and guys think differently. Guys think that they have to put in some extra work. Now, granted, there are situations where that is the case. Right. However, if the dick is that good and we want the same exact thing, let it be clear.
Like, yeah,
there's no work that needs to be put in here. You want exactly what I want, and it is what it is.
Like, just keep it a buck. But if we are genuinely getting to know each other to see if, like, this can be a relationship that the foundation is friendship, it's respect, it's what are your interests, what are you into,
you're genuinely concerned about what this person is far beyond sexuality.
Do you have any siblings? Like, I don't need to know if you have siblings to get the dick, but if I'm gonna build a life with you, I might be interested in wanting to know if you have siblings. You know what I'm saying? So I just think that sneeding is only an issue for y'all niggas if you just trying to get the buns. If you're genuinely trying to get to know a woman, you don't have to take her on the expensive date the first time, but if she proves herself worthy, then fucking drop that cash, my nigga.
Hey, I co-sign all of that, friend.
What's next?
All of that.
No, yo, the piggyback off of this though is that,
oh shit,
what happened?
Okay, I just got a text message.
Okay, we're doing fine on time.
Okay.
So my question for you is that why aren't we, and when I say we, I'm talking about you and I, why aren't we gold diggers? No, before you answer this, when we were at the Mouse Jones live show, there was a guest Passport Cuddy.
Yes.
I didn't know about her before going to the Mouse Jones show.
Okay.
But I've been following her since. She's an author of a book called The M in Man is for Money. Now, I have no intentions on becoming this gold digger, but I am curious. I am curious for my own personal reasons to know, like, what did she put in this book, and does it really work for her? Because she's a beautiful woman. Don't get me wrong.
100%.
She's a beautiful woman. She's on social media letting you know up front what type of chick she is.
No sugarcoating.
She does not fit the traditional beauty standard. She's not out here looking like your plastic Barbie doll, whatever. She looks like the
A regular
average
chick from
pretty
the block.
girl from the block.
Word up.
So if she's out here getting niggas to drop this cash, send her on trips across the world, I'm trying to figure out, like, yo, what the fuck is she doing? Now, I have no intentions on implementing this. However, if I could pick up a few techniques to, you know, improve my success rate and make sure I get me a new pair of shoes and shit, I might use a little technique here and there. You know what I'm saying? But so the book's on the way. I'll let you know more about that. But my first mind isn't thinking, like, let me date this guy and get him for all that he's got. Why are we not those chicks that think about getting things from niggas? Like, is there something wrong with us?
I don't think that that's the case. I don't think that there's something wrong with us. I think that our generation and our mother's generation have a lot to do with it. Meaning, our mothers found themselves in really tough situations, and I don't know if your mom was this way, but I can definitely say my mom was this way. She always emphasized on, you need to do for yourself. You need to not depend on a man, because I think they at one point in their lives depended on men. So they emphasize to us, don't depend on a man. Don't want a man to do for you. Know that if a man leaves you, you can still do for yourself. So I think that that is probably, even if it's only a little bit, has to do with why we're not gold diggers.
I don't think it's a generational thing, though. I think it's the school in which we come from, because let's look at the Marilyn Monroes.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? I feel like the women that have the thought, like, yo, I need to get this nigga for everything that he's got, I feel like they have the mom that's like Evelyn Lozada.
Okay.
That's teaching the daughter, yo, this is how you get the bag from these niggas.
Yeah.
And then that's taught to the next daughter and the next daughter. And I'm not saying that it's right or wrong, but I think that the derivative, what I'm getting from your answer, is that it all depends on how you're raised. If you're raised by the mom that teaches you, like, yo, this is how you get these niggas to break that bread, then you become the person that gets, you know, the dudes to break bread. Now, another thing I find is that, like, women who have been scorned by men, they meet that friend that puts them on game on how to get niggas to break that bread.
I don't know, though. I think it depends on the caliber of person that you are, though, because I've had that friend. I've had those friends where, like, this is what you can do. But even when I am completely interested in a nigga or a female, and that female or a nigga, I said
Yeah.
nigga are completely interested back in you, I feel like I still have a problem with accepting gifts and accepting them doing things for me. Like, I'm so independent that I feel like, oh, no, you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. Like, I'll do it myself.
Right.
So I don't know what that means about me as a person, but I really don't think that I can ever be a gold digger.
It just feels wrong.
It
right?
feels wrong. Dirty. Yes.
Now, you know, I'm just going to use a real life example. Like Kat from Taz's Angels.
Yes.
She used to be my friend. You know what I mean? Like, really, really close. Like, there was a time that she stayed with me and my mom.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And it was during that time when she met Taz that she literally moved from my house and started her life with Taz. And I remember what was going on at that time. She went through a breakup with a dude, and she met a girl that was a dancer, and that Taz was pimping her at that time.
Oh, wow.
And that's how she got to meet Taz, and she saw the things that Taz was giving these girls, the lifestyles, this one, and then she got sucked into that whole hole. And now her whole way of thinking is like, fuck these niggas, let's get this money, because the material thing served of more importance than her building healthy relationships with
I
people.
just feel like that sounds angry to me.
Yeah.
Like you sound like an angry soul.
like
and
you're broken.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like you're bruised and you don't know exactly how to approach these situations anymore. So you're just like, I'm going to get it for wherever the fuck I can.
Yeah, and the thing is that I've had relationships that made me feel broken, and I've been like, yo, fuck these niggas. But like,
Not to that point though.
I think my pride is what stopped me from wanting to take complete advantage of another human being. It's like, if I want something
100%.
bad enough, I'm going to get it myself.
Yeah, I don't need to wait on you to offer something to me before I have to get it for myself.
Got it. I have one last thing.
Okay.
You know, I'm single now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking my time with how I'm gonna approach relationships or sex or anything moving forward. I got a lot of good things going on in my life, career, podcasting, all that shit. You know what I mean? And I'm tired. I like naps and shit. So I was having a conversation, and it was about porn, because I accidentally almost sent CO porn again, and I was laughing with someone about it, and they were like, why are you even watching porn in the first place, like when you can have somebody knock that down? And I just want to make a PSA. Don't think, I'm so sick of this misconception that just because you're good looking or you're an attractive female that you can just dial a number or you could just go to Walmart and get the dick. Now, while I can,
I was just about to say, okay, I'm glad you said that.
while I can, theoretically speaking, like, I'm not going to.
Correct.
Because my thing is, like, I'm not going to just be comfortable inviting some rando in my pussy like that.
What if it's someone that's been there before? That's different.
I mean, it depends, because if it's someone that's been there before and I'm not currently on it with you like that, it's got to be for a reason. You know, if getting that dick comes with a bag of drama, that
sometimes it really is
with,
just about the dick, though.
Right.
It doesn't have to be anything else.
But if I'm thinking like, yo, if I let this nigga smash, then now I'm going to have to deal with A, B, C, and XYZ. That'll make me not want to fuck you altogether.
Yeah, no, I get it. And I think that it's important that you said that, because although it really does only take a phone call for some females, sometimes that doesn't even matter. Like, I want here and now, quick, easy satisfaction. And let's be 100. Where when you're with a nigga or with a female, whatever the case, whatever you're into, it may take you 20-25 minutes to reach climax or reach a point of complete satisfaction. My nigga, I know my body well enough to take 2 minutes and be there already.
Like, it doesn't take me that long.
It does not. I can go for the same amount of time it takes me to go once with somebody else. I could have gone 3-4 times by my damn self.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know why. I just know my situation a little bit differently.
No. And I agree to that. 110%. I'm just saying, like, I don't got it like that. And I could be out here parading myself and being like, hey, you want to give me that dick tonight?
Okay.
But, like, no. It's like, well, you guys think it's that easy? Like, mentally, it's not that easy. Emotionally, it's not easy to just smut yourself out like that.
Word up.
But to the people that are comfortable enough doing that, more power to you. But me, nah, I'm not that chick. Plus, the looks thing. I mean, I like myself. I love myself.
Okay.
But I'm not delusional to thinking that I'm attractive to everyone.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
But you do know who you are found attractive by. Yeah,
and that's if they let it be known. And not every guy makes it known, because sometimes they get in their own head too and they don't show it.
Correct.
So that makes it that's just something that adds to it not being as easy as people think, because sometimes a dude could be feeling you and find you attractive, but he's in his head thinking that you're not feeling him, and then you're just two ships passing in the night, not even paying each other attention.
I like that analogy.
Thanks.
I like that. Mm-hmm. Makes me think of things differently. With that being said, another thing in the media, a woman dubbed Corner Store Caroline. Not sure if you've seen this.
Nope.
But a woman dubbed Corner Store Caroline, whose real name is Teresa Sue Klein, has gone viral after she was caught on video calling 911 on a black child, emphasis child she accused of sexually assaulting her when he brushed up against her inside of a Flatbush, Brooklyn store. Now, I've seen this video, and let me tell you, this is a skinny, scrawny, no ass having corner store Caroline white bitch. And they showed the video. She was leaning over the counter at the store. The little boy walked by with his sister and his mom with his book bag on. And the way that she was leaning and he was walking past her allowed his book bag to graze up on her ass. She turned around, and you can't hear the conversation, but her and the mom start going at it. I guess they're talking about whether or not the boy touched her ass or whatever. She's outside of the store. This little boy is like 9 years old, and he has a little sister with him who's about 3 or 4. She is talking on the phone to the 911 operator saying this little boy has sexually assaulted her and that she needs the cops out there, right then and there. The little girl's crying. The little boy is crying. They are going crazy. Like, it's just crazy. Another white woman comes and starts telling her, are you fucking serious right now? Is this what you're doing? You're calling the cops on 2 little kids? Like, what is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? You are a pedophile. That's what the lady kept saying to her. You are a pedophile. And she's like, go. Anyways, she's like, well, that's what it felt like. It felt like he touched my ass, so on and so forth, blah, 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 whatever. When they showed her the video, she had nothing to say. Nothing. And all she said was, I want to apologize to the little boy and girl, but I do not apologize to the mother because she could have walked away. If you were to be a mother, do you feel like you would have just walked away?
Walked away from her accusations?
Walked away from her accusations, walked away from her demeanor. She literally was like doing this like thrusting thing in the video. Like if her little boy was like, oh, he's touching me, all this
Who was
ass.
the thrusting? The accuser?
Yes.
She should be arrested.
Isn't that extra?
That's
pedophile-ish.
That could be
that's
considered
sexual assault.
That could be child endangerment, actually.
Neglect.
I mean, the way she was behaving in front of those kids, you know, it's definitely sexual harassment.
Something's not okay.
I mean, again, this is clearly someone who's mentally not sound. And, you know, it doesn't make it okay. I do think that she needs to be reprimanded in some sort of way. I think anyone that's calling the cops on things like this, these things need to be looked at more closely and people need to be held accountable. But my new approach in life is just realizing that when crazy shit like this happens, that doesn't make any sense, that there's something mentally wrong with a lot of these folks, man. And she sounds like a fucking wacko.
Bro, I could not believe it. She was dead serious. And then it went from her calling the cops, saying all of these things, to the other white lady approaching her and saying like, are you fucking serious right now? To her telling the other white lady, I am a cop.
I think these people need to be psychologically evaluated or Baker acted whenever like law enforcement identifies as something crazy.
So I guess my question is like, the fact that we're able to platform these videos and, you know, what do we call it? Permit patties, corner store Caroline. Oh my God, people are here. And all of these things, like, do you feel that it is a good thing that we're, you know, showcasing all of these things, or do you feel like it's just adding more negativity to the things that we already see as far as segregation goes?
I mean, I think it's shameful to see that these incidents are occurring, but I think that I've seen enough. I've seen enough to come to the conclusion that we need to put things in place to stop people from doing this shit. I don't need to continue seeing people call police for stupid reasons. I get it. This shit is happening. It's happening more often than we realize. I think it's time to implement something to reprimand these people, and then I'll feel a lot better about this shit.
Yeah, I agree to that.
Anyway, that's all I really got, dog.
Really?
Yeah.
I just have one more thing, but
okay.
Do you want to continue?
Sure.
Okay. So I want to ask one question. Red receipts on iPhone users, on or off, and why?
I have them off because I don't like people to even think about putting themselves in a position on checking me when I respond to them, because that'll annoy the shit out of me and it will end a friendship.
Okay.
You better believe it. You better fucking believe
You're
it.
You're so serious right
I'm
now.
Dead ass, bro. If you start a conversation with me wondering why I read your shit at 2 p.m. and that I didn't respond to you until 6 p.m., I'm going to be like, nigga, I respond when it's convenient for me. And if you ever check me on that shit again, I will fucking kill you.
So my thing is that I'm the same exact way, but on the opposite spectrum, where like, I'm like, my read receipts are on. And I don't give a fuck if you saw that I read it. I'm going to answer you whenever the fuck I can answer you. Don't question me.
I don't want to create room for the conversation to even happen.
But why do I have to check myself in order before I check you?
Because it's me being responsible. If I know I'm not going to respond well to someone...
I'm responsible for your emotions?
No. I'm responsible for myself. And because I know up front that I'm not going to respond well to someone questioning me about the time in which I've read something and the time in which I've responded to them. I know up front I'm not going to respond well to that. I rather take the step now that's going to eliminate the conversation from ever happening.
I'm not mad at that.
That's my approach with it, because it's fucking ridiculous. Now, for people who do have read receipts on, I do like seeing when someone has read my text message, because it kind of helps me gauge like what the fuck's going on. I like seeing it, you know what I mean? But if someone has them turned off, I don't give a fuck, because it takes me back to where we were. We used to be in a time where you text a person and it got back to you when they could and there was no fucking problem. Now that there's read receipts, people want to sit here and try to dictate what you should and when you shouldn't, and oh my gosh, I can't believe you left me on read and all this shit. Like, I don't like that shit.
Yeah, I agree to that. I personally don't give a fuck. Like, if you see that I read you and I haven't answered and you question me, I'm gonna be like, who fucking cares?
I think you do like that authoritative feeling of letting a person know, like, nigga, I do shit on my time. How dare you?
Absolutely.
Me, I'm at a stage in my life where I'd rather avoid the confrontation altogether, because I'm trying to live a peaceful life and I don't need you fucking disrupting my day with your bullshit.
I get all of that. That's all I wanted to know.
All right. Well, with that said, that wraps up episode number 58. I want to thank you guys for rocking with us. Make sure you hit us up. Let us know what you think. And if you haven't already, make sure you share this with your friends, your family, your loved ones, people that you feel would really love this podcast.
Yes, word of mouth is great. And we have lots of great things coming for you guys.
Yeah, so CL and Rome's going places.
Oh, you have no idea.
All right, you guys, thanks again for listening. I'll see you later.
Bye-bye.